Okay, so yan. Hello guys, good morning. So ngayon, statistics and probability naman yung i-discuss natin. Okay, so ano ba yung mga topics na matatakil natin under statistics? So meron tayong tatlong main topics. First, we have the measures of central tendency. So doon papasok yung mean, median, and mode. Okay, so when we say mean, average yan. When we say median, yung pinakagitna dun sa dataset natin. Okay, then yung mode, kung alin doon yung may pinaka maraming naulit na value, okay? Or yung most frequent data natin. Okay, then pagdating sa measures of central tendency, okay, pagdating sa mean median mode, so meron tayong dalawang way sa pag-solve. Depende kung group data or ungroup data siya. Okay, then next we have the measures of variability, okay, or variation. So doon papasok yung standard deviation, yung variance, okay, yung range. Then last, we have the measures of position. So doon papasok yung deciles, quartiles, and percentiles. Okay, so ngayon, statistics muna yung i-discuss ko. Okay, then separate lecture naman pagdating sa probability. Okay, so ayan, start na tayo. So first, we have the measures of central tendency for the ungrouped data muna. Okay? So, same lang yan. Sa group or ungroup, yung measures of central tendency natin, we have mean, median, and mode. Pero iba lang yung way of solving natin. Okay? So, definition muna ng mean, that is sometimes called the arithmetic mean, is popularly known as the average. Okay? So, yan yung keyword natin sa mean, average. It is the sum of scores divided by the number of cases. So, for example, meron tayong given na data set. Okay? Para makuha natin yung mean nun, so kukunin natin yung sum nung dataset na yon. Okay? Yung mga values yan, numerical values. So, ipag-add natin yon, then i-divide natin kung ilan ba yung dataset na binigay sa atin. Okay? So, we have this formula. Mali yung ano natin, x. Dapat x bar yan. It should be x bar. Okay po? Yan. X bar is equal to mu. Same lang yan. X bar or mu yung ginagamit natin na symbol for the mean. That is equal to, ito yung mga dataset natin, x1, x2, x3, plus, and so on and so forth. Okay, kung ilan yung datasets natin over the total number of datasets available natin. Okay, then next we have the median. It is derived from the Latin word medius meaning middle. It is the middle number of a set of numbers arranged in numerical order. So, ang ginagawa natin kapag nagko-compute tayo ng median, halimbawa, meron tayong given na dataset, di ba? Okay, so say for example, meron tayong 1, 5, 3, 9, 8, ano pa? So we have 10, 15, 12. Okay. So ang gagawin natin, parang kalat-kalat yung ano niya, di ba? So parang hindi siya naka-arrange. So ang ginagawa natin para makompute natin yung median, okay, i-arrange natin siya in ascending order. So what do we mean by ascending? So from lowest value, okay, i-arrange natin yung positioning niya hanggang sa highest value from lowest to highest. Okay? So, kung i-arrange natin yan, so we have 1, 3, 5, 8, 9, 10, 12, and 15. Okay? So, ganun lang for the median. Then next, kukunin natin yung pinakagitna niyan. So, paano natin makuha yung gitna? So, ilan ba to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So, we have 8 data na given. Then, hatiin natin sa dalawa. So, we have 4. Okay? So, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay? So, yung median natin dyan. Okay, so we have yung fourth position niya, pero hindi yan yung exact answer natin. Hindi 8. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, yung median dyan is between fourth and fifth. Okay, lagi yan. So, consider niyo yung kasunod niya na position. Then, yung average yan. Okay, so therefore, yung median is nandito. Hindi 8 yung sagot kasi yung fourth position natin is 8, di ba? So, we have first 1, second 3, third position we have 5, then fourth position is 8. Okay? So, we have fourth and fifth. Para makuha natin yung value ng median, so we have take the average 8 plus 9 divided by 2. Okay, that is equal to ilan? So, ito example lang to guys, ano? So, we have, ilan ba yan? Ayan. So, we have, kasi na, ano? So, we have 8 plus 9 divided by 2. 8 plus 9, 17 divided by 2. So we have 8.5, okay? Okay, so ganyan lang naman pagdating sa median. Okay? Balikan ko dito. So yan. Pero meron tayong dalawang case dyan. Kapag yung number or total number of data sets natin is add, okay, we use this formula. Yung median is equal to n plus 1 over 2. Okay? Pero kapag even naman siya, ito yung ginagamit nating formula. So we have MD is equal to 1 over 2 times the quantity of n over 2 plus n over 2 plus 1. Okay? So halimbawa, yung nakuha natin is 8, di ba? Total number of data set kanina is 8. So kunin natin. So we have 1/2 times 8 over 2 plus 8 over 2 plus 1. Okay? So that is equal to ilan ba? So we have 4 plus 1. Okay? So we have 9. 9 divided by 2. So we have 4.5. Okay? So yung 4.5 kanina, nasa gitna yun, ano? So hindi siya yung fourth position. Okay? So same lang. Same lang yung nakuha natin. Okay? Ito yung mga formula natin. Okay? Pagdating sa median. For the ungrouped data, ito. Okay? Next, we have the mode. Okay? For the mode naman, yan yung most frequent data natin. Okay? And yun, pagdating sa ungrouped data, wala tayong formula pagdating sa mode. Ang ginagawa lang natin, i-identify natin dun sa dataset kung saan dun yung may pinakamaraming na ulit na data. Okay? So, aside from that, meron din tayong mean deviation. Okay? So, ito yung formula natin for the mean deviation that is equal to the summation of x natin minus x bar yan. Okay? X bar po ito. Okay, deviation ng kada data natin from the mean. So, itong numerator, yan po yung deviation natin. Okay? So, ang tawag dito, yung summation of absolute value ng x minus x bar. Okay, yung x bar po, yan po yung mean natin over the total number of datasets na meron tayo. Yan po yung tinatawag natin na mean deviation. Okay? Next. So, kapag canon yung ginagamit natin, ano? So, halimbawa, mag-input tayo ng data. Okay? So, meron tayong sample data set. Then, input nyo yun sa SVAR. Okay? Then, ano pa ba? So, ang ginagawa natin, mode 3.1 yan. Or mode 3.1. Okay, so we have pag ungroup data, mode 3.1. Okay? Then, make sure na naka-frequency on tayo. Okay? So, tinuro ko naman sa inyo kung paano mag-frequency on. Okay, so ito, X bar to. So, once na input nyo yung data, okay, then, ang gagawin nyo, press CA. Okay, then apps. Yung CA sa ano yan, no? Canon, ano? All clear. Pero pagdating sa clear all yan, pero pagdating sa Casio kasi naka-AC yun eh. Pagkakatanda ko. Okay. Then, press apps. Then, pindutin nyo yung SVAR. Okay, number 5 yan. Number 5. Then, kapag min yung pipiliin nyo, press number 2. Okay. Number 2 po yan. Okay, then kapag total frequency, number 1. Okay, so yan lang naman for the mean deviation. Okay, and yung measures of central tendency natin using ungrouped data. Okay, then ito naman, yung population standard deviation. Okay, so ito yung symbol niya dun sa Caltech natin. Okay, X sigma N. Ano to? X sigma N. So nakita nyo yan dun, ano, so halimbawa mag-apps tayo. Then SVAR. Then X sigma N. Okay? So yung X sigma N, yan po yung population standard deviation natin. Number 3 po yan, ano? So number 3. Then next, we have the sample standard deviation. Number 4 po yan, okay? So we have X sigma N minus 1. Okay, so ano pa ang pagkakaiba ng population standard deviation sa sample standard deviation? Okay, pagdating sa population standard deviation, kinonsider natin lahat ng data. Okay, ginamit natin lahat ng data na binigay sa atin. Pero pagdating sa sample standard deviation, kumuha lang tayo ng part lang dun sa population natin. Okay, so hindi lahat ng data is kinuha natin. Okay? So ang ginawa natin, kumuha lang tayo ng part doon, then kinompute natin yung mean, then sinolve natin yung deviation. Okay, then makakompute natin yung standard deviation from that. Okay, then meron tayong formula. Kung gusto nyong manual, meron tayong formula for the population standard deviation and sample standard deviation. Sa mga next slides natin yan. Okay? So for the group data, iba naman yung formula natin, di ba? So ito yung formula natin for the group data. We have x bar is equal to the summation of f times x over the summation ng f. Okay? Hindi yan pwedeng i-cancel out. Ito, hindi pwede. Okay? So hindi yan pwede i-cancel out yung summation ng f. Okay? So ang meaning, ang tinutukoy dyan na ano, itong numerator, okay? Summation ng f times x. Okay? Ito, summation ng f. Okay? So, hindi mo pwedeng cancel out yan. Okay? For the median naman, ito yung formula natin. We have median is equal to lower class boundary nung median class natin. Okay? Plus um, the quantity of n over 2 where n is yung total number ng dataset natin. Okay? Minus yung CFMD minus 1 natin, yan po yung cumulative frequency. Okay? Nung class before the median class. Okay po? Then over FMD, yung FMD po, yan po yung frequency nung median class natin times the I. Okay? Yung I, makikita natin yan dun sa interval. Okay? Yung class interval natin. Then ito, mas maintindihan natin itong formula na to once na nag-solve na tayo. Okay? So, ipapakita ko sa inyo kung paano natin siya ma-identify. Okay? So, ulitin ko, yung LCB, MD, yan po yung lower class boundary ng median class. Okay? Yung CFMD-1, yan po yung class frequency ng previous class before the median class. Okay? So, sa mga group data, meron kasi tayong mga class na ano, na mention. Then from that, gagawa tayo ng class boundary. Okay? Then yung frequency, gagawa tayo ng cumulative frequencies. Okay? Cumulative frequency. Okay? Then yung FMD naman, yan po yung frequency ng model class. Ay, median class. So, ibig sabihin, para ma-solve natin ito, kailangan natin ma-identify yung median class. Okay? Then, okay, na-define na natin. Yan. Yung I natin is yung class size or yung interval. Okay? Yung class size mismo or the class interval. Then, okay. Yan yung mga definition ng mga variables natin dito. Okay na? Next. For the mode naman, so we have mode is equal to LCB-MO, where LCB-MO, yan po yung LCB-MO po, yan yung lower class boundary ng model class natin. So, para makuha natin yung mode, kailangan natin makompute or mahanap yung model class natin. Okay? We have LCBMO plus I. Okay, yung I natin is yung class size or interval times the quantity of delta 1 over delta 1 plus delta 2. Where delta 1, yan po yung difference in frequency of model class and the class before it. Okay? So, difference ng frequency ng model class and frequency ng class bago tayo mag-model class. Okay? Then yung delta 2 naman is yung difference in frequency of model class and frequency nung model class after ay ng frequency ng class after ng model class natin. Okay po? So yan. Ano pa? So for the population standard deviation, as I said kanina, papakita ko sa inyo yung formula. Ito po yung formula natin dyan. Okay? So we have sigma is equal to the square root of the summation ng dispersion natin that is squared. Okay? Or sigma, which is the population standard deviation, that is equal to the square root of the summation ng squares ng deviation natin over ng total number of datasets. Okay? While for the sample standard deviation, same lang naman pero dito sa denominator, nag-minus 1 tayo. Okay? Then, pinakita ko naman sa inyo kung paano tayo magkakaltek niyan. So, halimbawa, i-input nyo yung data. Okay? Then, next, press CA, apps, then SVAR. Okay? Then, may lalabas dyan. Meron yung X sigma N. Number 3 yun. Okay? Then, yung X sigma N minus 1. number 4. Okay, so yung number 3, x sigma n, yan po yung for population standard deviation. Then yung x sigma n minus 1, yan po yung sa sample standard deviation. Okay? Then yung range naman, so yung range naman, definition natin, hindi na siya central tendency pala eh. Variation na. Okay? For yung range naman is yung difference between the highest value and the lowest value. Okay? So kukunin natin yung kay pinakamataas na value dun sa dataset, then isusubtract natin sa lowest value. Okay? Then for the coefficient of range, so gagawin natin, kailangan natin mahanap yung highest value and lowest value, and we use this formula para makuha natin yung coefficient of range. Okay po? Next, quartiles, deciles, and percentiles. Okay, so sa measures naman tayo ng position. Okay, ano yung definition natin ng quartiles? We divide the whole distribution into four equal parts. So we have Q1, okay, yung first quartile, Q2, yung second quartile, or the so-called median din, kasi nasa gitna yan eh. Yung Q3 naman is yung tawag dito, yung third quartile. These are the statistical measures that split a dataset into four equal parts. Okay, so yung Q1, this represents the value daw below which 25% of the data falls. Yung Q2 naman represents the midpoint, okay, which splits the data into upper and lower half, okay? Then yung Q3 naman represents the value below which 75% of the data falls. Okay? So, halimbawa, meron tayo ditong 25, 50, 75. Meron tayo ditong, tawag dito, linya. Ano? So, we have Q1, okay, Q2, and Q3. Okay? So, halimbawa, meron tayo ditong given na data set, okay, numerical data set. Okay? So, yung Q1 po natin, halimbawa, find the, para manap natin yung Q1, siguro magbibigay ako ng sample data set. So, we have 1, 2, 4, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, so ilan ba yun? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have n is equal to 9. Okay, para mahanap natin yung Q1, that is equal to, sabi dito, Q1 represents the value below which 25% of the data falls. So we have 25%, 0.25 times the n natin, that is 9. Okay, so that is equal to, so we have 2.25. Okay, then yung Q2 natin, approximately, 3 po yan. Okay, so kung titingnan din natin dito, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so nasaan yung median natin? So another way para makuha natin yung Q1 and Q2, Q3, gawin natin, wait lang. Saan yun? Okay, so we have 1, 2, 4, 7, 9, 10, 11, 12, 15. Compute natin yung median or identify natin ang yung median, which is ito. Okay? Which is 9. Okay? Then gawin natin, identify natin yung Q1 dito, okay? Which is na-solve natin, that is equal to 3. Yung third position, okay? Meaning yan, third position. So from here, 1, 2, 3. So ito yung Q1 natin. Okay, ito yung Q2. Okay, then for Q2 naman, 0.5 times 9, that is equal to, you have 4.5. Then, round up yan lagi. That is equal to 5. Okay? So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So tama tayo. For the Q3 naman, that is equal to 0.75. Okay? As per the definition, so we have 0.75 times 9 is equal to ilan? 6.75 or the 7. Okay? So nandito yan. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay? So ito yung Q3 na. Okay? So ganyan lang naman pagdating sa quartiles. Then same lang yan. Same applies for percentiles. So, and deciles. So sa deciles, instead of 4 equal parts, so hinahati na natin siya into 10 equal parts. Okay, so we have D1 hanggang D9. Okay? So, ang gagawin natin, halimbawa, di ba, pagdating sa quartiles, yung Q1 natin, that is equal to 0.25, and yung N is yung total number of data sets, yung Q2 natin, or the median, 0.5N, Then yung Q3 natin, that is equal to 0.75N. Pagdating sa decile, so we have D1 is equal to 0.1. 0.1 times N. Yung D2 natin is 0.2 times N. Yung D6 natin is equal to 0.6 times N. Yung D9 natin is equal to 0.9 times N. Okay? Next, for the percentiles naman, so 100 equal parts na siya. Okay? So we have P1, P2, and so on and so forth hanggang P99. Okay? These are defined as first percentile, second percentile, 99th percentile, and ith percentile. Okay? Which contains the I and over 100 part of data. Okay? So, ganun lang naman siya. So, yan. Okay? For the percentiles. Okay? So, halimbawa, we have to compute for, tawag dito, P11. That is equal to 11 over 100 ng N natin. Okay? For the P33, is equal to 33 over 100 ng N natin. Then, halimbawa, P57 is equal to 57 over 100. And yung kinocompute natin dito, hindi yung eksaktong, I mean, hindi siya yung percentile mismo. Yung kinocompute natin dito, clarify ko lang, yung position. Okay, halimbawa, na-compute natin dito, that is equal to, ilan ba? So we have 11 over 100 times n, sabihin natin 7. Okay. So, ang meaning yan, 7th position. Okay, from the start. Okay, then kukunin natin yung anong value dun sa 7th position na yon. Okay? So, yung value dun sa position na yon, yun po yung P11 natin. Okay po? So, next. Yan yung interquartile range natin. Yung formula niya, that is the difference between the third quartile and the first quartile. Then, coefficient of IQR natin, that is equal to Q3 minus Q1 over Q3 plus 1. Okay? Wait lang, parang Q3 plus Q1 to eh. Q1. Wait lang, mali lang. Okay, then for the quartile division, use this formula, QD is equal to 1 half over, 1 half times the interquartile range. Okay po. So, mga formula based lang naman tayo dito. So, yung outlier is the highest or lowest data. Okay? Or the extremely high or lower or low data relative to the rest ng data set natin. Okay? And yung outlier, makakuha natin yan by using this formula. So, kapag yung nakuha natin na data falls within this range, okay, that is greater than ng Q3 or the third quartile plus 1.5 ng IQR natin, outlier siya. Or pwede rin ganito, okay? Kapag nagbaba siya sa value nito, Q3 minus 1.5 times the IQR, any value na nag-fall sa range na to, okay, or sinet nating condition, okay, so pag may nag-fall dyan na value, matic or automatic outlier na siya. Okay po? Then for the value of quartile, decile, and percentile for group data, yung kanina, for ungroup yon. Okay? Yung pagkuha natin ng quartile, decile, percentile. Pero pagdating sa group data, okay, kanina ungroup, ngayon pag group, ito yung ginagamit nating formula. That is equal to the lower class boundary plus I, yung I natin is the class size, times yung position. Okay? Minus cumulative frequency before nung na-identify natin na position, okay? Yung position class niya, okay? Minus cumulative frequency ng class, nung before class ng position natin over the frequency nung position class natin. So, mas maintindihan natin yung panag-solve na tayo, okay? So, ngayon, medyo nasa lecture part pa lang, kaya medyo hirap tayong intindihin. Pero once na nag-solve na tayo or nagbigay na ako ng mga problems, then sinolve natin, mas maintindihan nyo yan lalo. Okay po? So, miscellaneous topics, we have the Pearson's R coefficient. Okay, that is equal to R. Pearson's R natin is equal to, ito yung formula natin para nakakatamad siyang basahin. Ano? So, we have N, okay, yung total number of data sets times the summation ng XY natin minus summation ng X times summation ng Y all over the square root of the quantity ng n times the square root of x squared minus square root of x, or the quantity of summation ng x squared times the quantity of n times the summation ng y squared minus the quantity of summation of y squared. Okay, so ang ginagawa kasi natin yan, pagdating sa Pearson's R, halimbawa may given tayong x and y, may mga values yan. May mga values yan sa baba. So ang ginagawa natin, gagawa tayo ng table, x, y, so gagawin natin yung summation ng x, summation ng y, x squared, summation ng y squared. Okay? So ang gawin natin, ano pa? So we have xy. Okay? So we have summation ng x. Hindi. Wait lang, may bali tayo dito. Alisin natin yung mga summation. Okay? So we have x squared, y squared, xy. We have, ano pa ba? Okay, okay na. So ang ginagawa natin dyan, dito sa baba, nandito yung summation of x squared. Yung makuha nating value, yung mga summation niya. Okay, syempre yung makuha natin yan, summation ng y. Okay, so we have summation ng x squared, summation ng y squared, then summation ng xy. Okay, kapag tinotal natin yan. So, kompleto na. Okay, then yung total number of data sets natin, kung ilan. Ganun lang naman. Okay, then, okay, for the z-score naman, so natabunan, we have this formula, z is equal to x minus the mean, okay, over the standard deviation. So, itong x, okay, any value yan na nasa dataset, okay, minus the mean ng dataset natin or the average all over the standard deviation ng dataset natin. Okay? So, yan yung definition niya. Okay po? Next, variance. So, kapag in-square natin yung standard deviation, yung makuha po natin dyan is yung variance. Okay? That is the square of standard deviation. So, that is equal to sigma squared for the population variance or S squared for the sample variance natin. And for the relative variability naman, ito yung formula natin, that is equal to standard deviation over the mean. Okay? Or ratio ng standard deviation sa mean natin. Okay? Here's for the population. Tawag dito. Here's for the population standard deviation. Population na relative variability, and ito naman for the sample. Okay? Then for the mean of value of distribution, we use this formula. Okay, yung mean value natin, that is equal to the square root, the integral of f of x. Okay, so ito, function itong f of x na to, yung upper, may siset tayo dyan na upper and lower boundary. Okay, so naka-definite integral tayo dito. So ito yung upper boundary, b natin. Then yung lower boundary natin is a. All over b minus a. Then for the root mean square naman, ito yung ginagamit nating formula. Okay? So, pinagkaiba lang dito sa mean value. So, yung RMS natin, syempre, naka-root. Okay? Naka-square root yan. Then, itong function natin, f of x, ini-square natin. Okay? So, meron tayong square dyan. Square ng function natin. Okay? Then, in-integrate natin. Okay po. So, yan lang naman yung mga formulas natin. Okay? So, more on, ano siya? Formula based. Okay? Kaya medyo madali. Okay? Lalo na dito sa mga miscellaneous part. Pero dun sa mga quartiles, so kailangan din sa ulado din natin yung mga formula, lalo na dun sa group data. Okay? Para hindi tayo hirap sa pag-solve. Okay po? So let's try to solve some problems here. So problem 1, meron tayo ditong dataset. So meron tayo 5 dataset dito. 4, 3, 3, 4, 4. Total of 5, 5. Diba? So yan. Ano yung mga hinahanap? Mean, median, and mode. And mean deviation. So solution. For part A, find the mean mu that is equal to x1 plus x2 plus x3 hanggang xn. Ito yung gagamitin natin formula. Okay? So, substitute natin mga values. x1 natin 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 4 plus 4. Okay? Pinag-add natin yung mga values ng dataset natin. Then, divided by the total number of data sets. So, ilan ito? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So, divide natin sa 5. Then, solving for mu or the mean, we have 3.6. Okay? So, ganun lang kadali pagdating sa ungrouped data. Di ba? For the part B naman, so, paano natin kukunin yung median? Median, so, gagawin natin, arrange natin in ascending order itong dataset na to. So, hindi siya naka-arrange eh. Yung una natin 4, then yung sunod, mas bababa sa kanya, which is 3. Okay, gawin natin, arrange in ascending order. So, we have 3, 3, 4, 4, 4. Okay, then, yung pinakagitna, kasi obvious naman eh, makikita naman natin yan. So, yan po yung median. So, yung answer natin is 4. Okay, so we don't have to use formulas na. Okay, pag ganitong kaliit lang yung dataset natin, di ba? So, mode naman, hanapin natin yung pinaka-most frequent. Okay, yung sa 3, dalawa lang. But sa 4, tatlong beses siya na ulit. So therefore, yung most frequent value or the mode natin will be 4. Okay? The next, we have the mean deviation. Okay, ito formula natin for the mean deviation. We have summation ng absolute value ng x minus, wait, na tayo. Sana yun? Wait lang ha. Okay, nandito na. Okay, yan. So ito, x bar yan. Okay? So x bar po yan. X minus x bar over n. So, yung summation niya, sa 3 muna, 3 minus 3.6. Okay, kasi yung mean natin is 3.6 times 2. Bakit 2? Kasi minultiply natin kung ilang beses na. Okay, so meron tayong dalawang 3. Kaya inulit natin. Kaya hindi na natin siya parang 3 minus 3.6, tapos add pa natin ng another 3 minus 3.6 para mas madali, or para mas maikli lang yung pagsulat natin ng equation. So, we use this. Times 2 na lang. Okay, times the frequency niya. Kung ilang beses na ulit. Then dito sa 4, 4 minus 3.6 times 3. Okay? Times 3 kasi apat na beses na ulit yung 4 natin. Okay? Divided by the total number of dataset natin. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? So for MD, we have 0.48. Okay? So ganun lang. Ganun lang guys, kadali yung ano natin. Pagdating sa group. Okay? Pero pagdating sa group, madali lang naman siya eh. Pagdating sa group data. However, medyo ano lang siya, mabusisi. Okay? Mabusisi lang. Pero pag alam naman ninyo, since ma-discuss naman natin dito, so madali lang sundan. Okay? So problem 2. The table shown below shows the score of 25 students in the examination, arranged from lowest to highest. Okay, so meron tayo ditong score ng 25 students. Okay, so we have 50 hanggang 100. So parang nakaano na siya eh. Naka-ascending order na. Ito yung lowest, ito yung highest natin. So hindi na tayo mahirapan pag-arrange. So first determine the mean, determine the median, determine the mode. Okay? Then also, determine the population standard deviation. Okay? So it is the, ano ba yan? Sigma natin. Okay? Then, mean absolute deviation natin. Okay? So, paano ba natin i-solve? So, solution natin, determine the mean. Okay, so ang ginawa natin, kasi group data na siya eh. Ang gawin natin, lagay natin yung x, yung mga values, 50, 55, 60, hanggang dito sa 100. Then, gawa tayo ng table, ano? Then, for the second column, yung frequency, kung ilang beses siya na ulit. Yung 50, isang beses lang. Yung 55, tatlo. So, makikita natin yan dito eh. Diba? 55, 55, 55. So, tatlo. Tatlong frequency. Then, for 60, dalawa dito sa 74. Okay? Kung titingnan natin dito, sa 74, dalawa. Okay? So, ganun lang. Hanggang dito sa baba. Okay? Then next, i-multiply yung x sa f. So, dito sa first row, 50 times 1, 50. 55 times 3, 165. Okay? Then, same process lang hanggang dito sa pinakababa. Okay po? The next, yung mean natin, or x bar, okay, that is equal to summation ng, fx over the summation ng f. So, ang ginawa natin, dito sa pinakababa, i-add natin kung ilan yung total number of frequency natin. So, 1, 3, 1, plus 1, plus 1. So, yung summation of f, that is equal to n din. Okay? Yung total number. Okay po. Then, itong summation ng fx, ipag-add natin yan hanggang dito sa baba. Yung sum niyan, that is the summation ng f times x. Okay? Substitute natin. 1970 Okay, yung nakuha natin dito. Sa pinakababa, kapag pinag-add natin yan, 50 plus 165 plus 60 plus 65 plus 70 plus 71, and so on and so forth, hanggang plus 100. Okay, that is equal to 1,970. Divided by 1 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 2 plus 1 plus 1, and so on and so forth, hanggang ma-reach natin itong sa 100, x is equal to 100. Okay, yung total diyan, yung n natin, that is equal to 25. Okay, then solve for mean, we have 78 point. Okay po? So kapag Caltech naman, gawin natin mode 3.1. So copy natin mode 3.1, yung SD. Okay, ito SD yan. Okay? Then make sure na nakapag-frequency on. So alam naman ninyo, pag naka-off yan, gawin ninyo apps, ay hindi, hindi. Gawin natin. So shift mode, okay? Kapag naka-off, shift mode, then press down button, okay? Then piliin nyo yung stat. Okay? Then number 4 yun. Then may lalabas dyan na frequency, tatanungin ka kung naka-on or i-off mo. So select 1, yung on. Okay, then may lalabas na dyan na dapat X saka frequency. Okay, then na-discuss ko na yun sa previous lecture natin, ano. So dapat alam niyo kung paano ma-on yung frequency, lalo na kapag nagka-caltech na tayo. Okay, so dapat naka-frequency on. Then, pag naka-frequency on, yung X column, okay, yung X column, dyan natin ilalagay ito, yung mga values natin. Then for the frequency naman, okay, may lalabas nyo sa calculator ninyo, ano? Ito yung ilalagay ninyo. Okay? So once na-input nyo na yung X saka frequency, column na yan, okay? Press CA, okay? Na-input nyo yung mga values, ano? Press CA, then press apps, then press SVAR, okay? Yung number 5, then piliin nyo yung X bar, okay? Itong X bar, yan po yung X bar. Okay, number 2. Okay, then yung lalabas dyan is ito. Okay po? So, yan lang naman for part A. Next, determine the median. So, paano natin makakuha yung median sa, tawag dito, sa group data natin? Saan na yun? Gawin natin, order yung data from lowest to highest. So, nakaganito siya. Okay, so naka-arrange na yun eh. Yung nasa table natin sa previous slide. 50 hanggang 100. Pero nilagyan natin ng position. Okay? O, so, yung 50, yung first, then yung 100 is yung last. Kasi, ascending tayo from lowest to highest yung arrangement natin. Then, gawin natin, divide the total frequency by 2. So, ilan yung total frequency natin? That is equal to 25. Okay? Itong sigma F natin. Okay? Or summation ng F. Hindi sigma F. Summation ng F natin. Okay? That is equal to 25 divided by 2. We have 12.5. So, therefore, etong 12.5, i-round up natin yan. So, lagi yan, round up pagdating sa positioning. So, 12.5 round up 13. So, yung median natin is somewhere nasa 13th position. Okay? So, we have median. Yung value ng 13th, we have 85. So, yung median natin is 85. Okay? Next, determine the mode. So, ang gawin natin, naka-ungroup data pala to kasi pero may frequency na. Okay? Ungroup data pa pala to, sorry. So, ayan. Check natin dito sa previous slide natin kung ano yung mode. So, burahin natin ito. Nangyari. 55 and 85. Bakit 55 and 85? So, check natin dito sa frequency kung ano yung may pinakamadaming value. So, if we have 3 and dito rin. So, anong values ba yan? So, we have 55 and 85. Okay? So, yan po yung mode natin. So, since dalawa, pwede yan. Possible yan na dalawa yung mode natin. So, ang tinatawag natin dyan, bimodal. Okay? So, we have 55 and 85. Then, kapag tatlo, trimodal. Ganun. Then, part D, determine the population standard deviation. So, paano kaya natin yan gagawa? So, itong gawin natin. Gawa tayo ng table. So, we have X, di ba? So, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, ganun. Input nyo gusto sa X. Kung gusto nyo manual, itong gawin nyo. So, gagawa kayo ng table, tapos input nyo yung, kunin nyo yung X bar, okay? So, nakuha na natin yung X bar, di ba kanina? Ilan ba yun? So, we have 78.8. Then, kunin natin yung dispersion. Okay, which is ito. Wait lang. Itong x minus x bar. So, yan po yung dispersion natin. Then, square ng dispersion. Okay, then yung frequency. So, given naman yan. Okay. Then, yung product ng f or frequency natin, then yung square ng deviation natin. Okay? Then, ito yung formula natin for the population standard deviation. Okay? So, yung summation yan, so yung total nito, okay? Ipag-add nyo yan. So, ito yung ilalagay ninyo sa numerator. Then, yung summation ng f, yung total naman nito, okay? Ilalagay nyo dito sa denominator. Okay? So, yan. Tapos, that is equal to square root of 544 over 25, then 14.76 yung makuha nating standard deviation. Pero since matatagalan tayo, kung magma-manual solution tayo, meron naman tayong Caltech dyan. So kapag Caltech mode 3.1, make sure na naka-frequency on kasi kailangan natin ng frequency dito. Okay? May frequency column tayo dito. Okay? So ang input nyo lang naman is yung X saka F, which is yung dati lang. Okay? Then next, once na input nyo na yung mga values, so press CA, then apps, then 5S var, then press number 3. Okay, may lalabas kasi doon once in-input niyo yung 5S bar, pinindot niyo, may lalabas diyan na option na ano ba yung option doon? So wait lang. 3, 2, apps, S bar. So we have naka tayo eh. Naka mode 3.1 tayo. Apps, 5S bar. So meron diyan lalabas na option. So we have N, X sigma N, X bar, X sigma R, N minus 1. So ito yung 1, 2, 3, and 4. Diba? So yung N, yan po yung frequency natin. Okay? Total frequency. Then yung X bar, yan po yung average or mean. Then yung X sigma N. Okay? Ito yung pipindutin niyo, which is the population standard deviation. Itong number 4 naman, yan po yung sample standard deviation. Okay? So ayan. Then kapag same ano lang, ito lang yung makukuha natin pag sinundan natin itong process na to. So 14.76 din yung makukuha natin. Then part E, determine the mean absolute deviation. For the MAD, ito yung formula natin. Okay, we have to take the sum nitong dispersion natin. Okay, x minus x bar, yung sum nito. Ipag-add natin itong lahat. Okay, over the summation nitong f or yung n natin, total number of dataset natin. That is 25. Okay, 318 divided by 25, we have 12.72. And yan yung answer natin for part E. Okay? Next. Problem 3 naman. So, Bennett grew 50 baby eggplants using special soil. He dug them up and measured their lengths to the nearest millimeter and grouped the results. Okay, so meron tayo ditong interval. Okay? So, from 150 to 154, so meron tayong class na dito. Okay, so pagdating dito, pag may nakikita kayong parang may class 150 to 154, iba-iba, parang may interval na. Okay? So, group data na pag ganyan. Okay, iba na yung way of solving natin pag ng mean, median, and mode. Okay, so we have 150 to 154, yung frequency daw is 5. From 155 to 159 na length, dalawa. Okay, from 160 to 164, 6, 165 to 169, 8, and so on and so forth. Okay, so ano yung mga hinahanap? Estimated mean, estimated median, and estimated mode. Okay, so naka-group data na tayo. Group data. So we have to use yung mga formulas na na-mention ko kanina for the group data. Okay, so ayan. What is the estimated mean? So, ang ginawa natin, yung given lang kanina is yung length and frequency, di ba? Itong the first two columns. Okay, ang gagawin natin, gagawa tayo ng class boundary column, class mark column, and cumulative frequency. Summation of F. Okay, for the class boundary, ang gagawin natin, check natin itong 150 and 154. And magbabawas tayo sa 0.5 pagdating sa class boundary. Okay? Dito sa lower class boundary. So ito yung lower class boundary natin. Yung first numbers, 49.5, 154.5, 159.5. And yung second number naman, yan po yung upper class boundary natin. Okay, naintindihan? So 150, babawas tayo ng 0.5, we have 149.5. Pagdating sa upper class, we have 154. Okay? So magdadagdag tayo ng 0.5. We have 154.5. Then dito sa 155, lower class, magbabawas tayo ng 0.5. So we have 154.5. Then dito sa 159, Okay, magdadagdag tayo ng 0.5 for the upper class boundary. We have 159.5. Okay, ganun lang. Same process lang hanggang dito sa baba. Okay, then ito yung class size natin or the I. Okay, then after masulat natin yung class boundary, susulat natin tong class mark. Okay, yung class mark or X, yan po yung gitna. Okay, in between ng class boundary natin. Okay, so paano natin makuha? Take the average lang. Okay? So we have, halimbawa, dito, pwede naman gamitin natin itong class size na to eh. So yung lower class, we have 150 plus 154 over 2. So we have 152. Okay? Then dito naman, take the average itong dalawa. So we have 157. So same process lang yan dito sa baba. Okay? Then yung cumulative frequency. So paano tayo tatabulate ng cumulative frequency? So copy natin itong first 5. Okay? Yung frequency ng first class natin, we have 5. Then, second class natin, 2. Ipag-add natin yan. 5 plus 2, we have 7. Copy dito. Then next, we have 6. So we have 7 plus 6, that is equal to 13. Then 13 plus 8, we have 21. And so on and so forth. Pababa lang din. Okay? Okay, so naintindihan nyo guys. Ano? Then, next step, gawin natin. For the mean, so ang gawin natin, okay, x bar natin, that is equal to summation ng f times x over summation ng f. Okay? Ito yung summation ng f natin, 50. Okay? Then yung summation ng f times x. Okay? So, itong frequency, multiply natin sa plus mark. Okay? So, ganun lang. Ang ginawa natin dito, so we have fx. Kuha pa tayo ng isang table. So, 5 times 152. Okay? Ilalagay ninyo dyan. Tapos, compute ninyo yung summation ng fx natin. Then, ito, yung summation of f natin. That is equal to 50. Okay? Then, kapag dinivide natin yan, summation ng fx over summation ng f, we have 170.6. Okay? So, f times the class mark. Okay? 5 times 152, yung product yan, lagay nyo dito. 2 times 157, yung product, lagay nyo dito. Okay? So, naintindihan? The next naman, part B, what is the estimated median? So, nilagay na natin dito yung, hindi ko na, ano yung I is equal 5 eh. Anyway, hindi ko na sali sa animations. What is the estimated median? We use this formula. MD or median is equal to LCB MD plus the quantity of N over 2 minus CFMD minus 1 over FMD times the I. Okay, na-define na natin ito. LCB is the lower class boundary ng median class. Okay, yung CFMD minus 1, yan po yung cumulative frequency ng class before the median class. Okay, I repeat, class before the median class. Okay, so kukunin natin yung median class, then madedetermine natin dun yung class before that. Okay? Then itong FMD naman, yan po yung frequency ng median class. Times the class size, I. Okay? So, kunin natin yung N over 2. So, yung N natin, we have 50 divided by 2. That is equal to 25. So, yan po yung position ng median class natin. Then, i-check natin dito. Okay? I-check natin dito. Nasaan yung 25? So, yung 25, meaning yan, 25th position. Okay? So, check natin dito. Kung titingnan natin dito, yung 25, mag-check tayo sa cumulative frequency. Yung interpretation kasi dito, yung position, mag-check natin yan using cumulative frequency. So, itong 5, so yung position niya from first to fifth. Okay? Then, ito naman from 6 to 7th. Okay? Then, ito from 8 to 13th. Then, ito, 14th to 21st position. Then, ito naman from 22nd to 30th. Okay, then ito 31st hanggang 40th. Okay, so ganun lang. Okay, then kung titingnan natin, yung 25th position lies at this class. Okay, 170 to 174. Okay, yung I natin, that is equal to 5. Isali natin yung 150. So 150, 151, 152, 153, 154. So meron tayong total of 5. Okay? So LCBMD natin, yung lower class nitong, okay, wait lang. So 'di ba? Yung 25th position natin, naglalay dito sa 170 to 174. So, ang gawin natin, identify natin yung lower class boundary nito. Masyadong makapal. Di ba ito ma-adjust? Hindi na. Anyway, wait lang. Bilog to. So, ito, 170 to 174. Okay? So, yung lower class boundary niya, check natin dito. Ito yung class boundary. Ito yung lower class boundary niya. We have 169.5. Next, yung CFMD niya, ano meaning yan? Yung cumulative frequency, so check natin dito, ng model class, ng class before the median class. So, ito yung median class natin. Yan yung cumulative frequency niya. Then atras tayo. Yung class before ng ano natin ng median class, we have 165 to 169. Okay, then yung corresponding cumulative frequency niya, we have 21. So we have 21 dito. Okay? Then next, we have the frequency ng median class. So ito 170 to 174, we have 9. Okay? Then substitute na natin yung mga values. Solve for the median. We have 171.7 millimeters. Okay? So ganun lang. Next, for the mode naman, we use this formula. Okay, LCB. So, kunin natin yung model class. Okay, so paano natin makuha yung model class? So, check natin dito kung ano yung may pinakamaraming frequency. Okay, check the frequency column. So, dito, 5, 2, 6, 8, 9, 11. So, ito yung may pinakamalaking value. So, we have 175 to 179. So, gawin natin, kunin natin yung lower class boundary niya. So, ito yung class boundary, ito yung lower class boundary, 174.5. Okay? Then yung I natin, 5. How about yung delta 1? Yan po yung ng difference in frequency ng model class sa class before the model class. So we have 11, then yung before niya, we have 9. Okay? That is equal to 2. Then next, yung model class naman, yung frequency niya, then yung after ng model class. So we have 11 minus 6, baba, that is equal to 5. Okay? Then substitute na natin. Okay? We have modal or mode is equal to 174.5 plus 5 times the quantity of 2 over 2 plus 5. Solve for the mode, we have 175.9 millimeters. Okay? So, mabusisi siya pero kaya naman. Okay? Madali lang siyang isolve. Okay? The next, given the data set, so meron tayo ditong data set, determine Q1, Q2, and Q3. So, paano ba yan? Problem 5 na tayo, no? So, ang gawin natin, arrange from lowest to highest. So, lagi yan. Pag measure of position na tayo, mapa-quartile, decile, percentile, ang una natin gagawin, i-arrange natin. Okay, from lowest to highest. So we have 4, 7, 10, 16, hanggang 38. Then gawin natin, kunin natin yung gitna. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, ito yung gitna niya. Okay, so we have 9 divided by 2, 4.5. Okay, we have 9 divided by 2. Ba't pula? 4.5, approximately equal to 5. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fifth position. So we have 22. Ito yung median natin, Q2. Okay? Then for the Q1 naman, that is equal to 0.25 ng, ilan ba to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So we have 2.25. Okay? So nandito yung tawag natin, yung Q1 natin. Okay, that is equal to 2.25. Actually, mali ito. Okay, so dapat nandito yan. Okay, ito yung mali yung sagot natin. 3 natin. Okay? So, yung answer natin, ito yung Q1 natin. Okay, then for the Q2 naman, that is equal to ilan? 0.75 times 9, 6.75 to 7. Okay? So, nandito yan. Okay? So, we have Q3. Okay? So, we have 7 plus 10, 8.5, 30.5. Okay. So, mali itong mga ano natin dito. Wait lang. Saan na yun? Skip tayo. Yun. Okay. So, mali yung ano natin. Mali yung ano natin. Dapat ito yung Q1. Yung answer dapat dito, Q1 natin is equal to 10. Yung second quartile natin, 22. Ito yung Q3 natin, that is equal to 30. Okay, mali yung nandito. Mali. Mali ito. Okay, tama yung second quartile natin. Okay, yung Q1 natin, so ang gawin natin, 0.25 times, ilan to? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, times 9, that is equal to 2.25. Then round up natin. Third position dyan. So we have 1, 2, 3. So itong 10, okay? Then same lang yung Q3 natin, 0.75 times 9. That is equal to approximately 7 yun eh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we have 30. 30. Okay, ito yung tamang ano natin. Okay, sagot. Problem ano ba to? Problem 5. Okay, so proceed tayo. Problem 6 to eh. So, in an observation, the marks obtained are the following. So, meron tayo ditong given na data set. What is the range? Ano nangyari? What is the coefficient of range and the interquartile range? So, ang gagawin natin, una, order natin. Okay? So, meron pang kulang. Quartile division, meron pang inanap and outlier. So, ang gawin natin, first, arrange natin yan. Ay, hindi arrange kahit yung part A lang, range kasi. So, pwede na natin identify yung highest. So, highest natin is 50, then yung lowest natin, we have 12. Okay? Range is the difference between the highest and the lowest value. We have 50 minus 12, solve for the range, we have 38. Okay? Then part B naman, yung coefficient of range. So, nakuha natin yung highest value and lowest value, di ba? So, ito yung highest, then ito yung lowest. Okay? Solve for the coefficient of range. 50 minus 12 over 50 plus 12, we have 38 over 62. Or 0.613 in decimal. Okay? Next. Part C, arrange from lowest to highest natin kasi yung hinanap na is interquartile range. Okay? Pagdating sa quartiles, positions, quartile, decile, percentile. So, i-arrange natin siya from lowest to highest. So, ito na yung arrangement niya. 12, 15, 20, 28, 30, 40, 50. So, kunin natin yung Q2. Okay? Then, yung Q1 natin. Then, yung Q3 natin. Okay? So, nakuha na natin. Then, yung Q3 natin, IQR natin is the difference ng Q3 and Q1 natin. Okay? That is equal to 40 minus 15, then 25. Okay? Then, for the quartile division naman, okay, we use this formula, IQR over 2. So, divide lang natin yung IQR sa dalawa. We have 12.5. Then, for the outlier, so it should be greater than Q3 plus 1.5 IQR. 40 times 1.5 times 25. So, Q3 natin is 40 plus 1.5 ng 25. We have 77.5. Check natin dito. May value ba dito greater than 77.5? Yung pinaka mataas natin is 50, which is less than. Okay, so walang outlier sa taas. Then sa baba naman, we have Q1, that is 15 minus 1.5 ng IQR natin. We have 25. Okay, 1.5 times 25. We have outlier is less than 2.5. So, meron ba tayong values dito less than 2.5? Di ba wala? So, therefore, wala tayong outlier. Okay? Okay? So, next, problem 6. From problem 2, find PET and semi-interquartile division. Okay? So, yung sa problem 2 natin to, ano? So, paano natin makukuha yung 80th percentile? So, ilan ba to? 25? Okay? Total of 25 data set times 0.8. Okay? For the PET. So, we have 20th position. Okay? So, 20th. Then, hanapin natin yung 20th. So, we have 92. Okay? So P80 natin is 92. Then for the semi-interquartile, okay, Q3 minus Q1. So 0.25 times 25, we have 6.27. Then 7th position. So we have 70. Okay? Then for the Q3 naman, 0.75 ng 25. That is equal to 18.75. Round up, 19. Yung Q3 po natin would be 89. Okay? Sana to? Ito 89. Then, 89 minus 70 divided by 2, that is equal to 9.5. Okay? So, nakuha na natin yung SIQR. Yan po. Next, problem 7. So, meron tayo ditong tables, may mga marks, the number of students, corresponding number of students niya. Okay na nakakuha ng ganitong marka. So, from 11 to 20, walong students. From 21 to 30, 10 students. 31 to 40, 12. 41 to 58, and 51 to 66. So, naka-group data ito, ano? Pag nakita nyo parang may class or may interval, o may class size tayo dito. So, part A, what is the semi, IQR, class size, then coefficient of IQR. So, solution, ang gawin natin, lagay natin yung marks, number of students. So, ito yung F. Okay? Then, class boundary, 11 minus 0.5, then 0.5, then 20 sa upper class boundary. Ito yung lower class boundary natin. Then, ito yung upper class boundary. Okay? So, copy lang yan dito sa baba. Then, yung cumulative frequency 8, copy. 8 plus 10, we have 18. 18 plus 12, we have 30. And so on and so forth. Hanggang ma-reach natin yung 44. So, yung summation of F natin, that is equal to 44. Or yung N natin is also 44. Okay? So, ito, F ito. Okay? Yung second column. So, SIQR natin, kunin natin yung Q3 and Q1. Okay? So, para makuha natin yung Q3 and Q1, iba yung formula natin for the group data. And ito yung ginagamit nating formula. Okay? LCD plus I times the position minus cumulative frequency ng position class before. Okay? Then, over the frequency nung position class natin. Okay? So, yan. Next slide tayo. So, yan. For Q1, gawin natin, ilan ba to? 44 yung N natin, di ba? 44. Then, times 0.25, so we have 11. Okay? So, paano natin yan i-interpret? Ganito. Okay? Itong 8 na to, so from first to 8. Okay, ito from 9 to 18. Yung third row, so we have 19th. Paano ba? From first, 9th, 30th, then 31st to 38th, then last, 39th. Okay, so anong answer natin? 11. So, nandito yan. Nandito yan, ano? 21 to 30. Okay? So, check natin, lower class boundary ng 21 to 30. We have 20.5. Okay, then yung I natin, ilan ba yan? 51, 52, 53, 54, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 60. So, a total of 10. Class size natin is 10. Then, position natin dyan. So, 11, takuha na natin. Copy natin dito. Yung si FP4, okay, ito yung position class natin, di ba? Then, yung before niya, 11 to 20. Then, yung cumulative frequency natin dyan is 8, okay? Then, yung frequency ng position class natin, okay, nandito yan. We have 10. So, copy dito. Okay, solve for Q1, 23.5. Then for Q3 naman, so same process, 44 times 0.75, we have 33. So yung 33 natin, nandito yan. Okay. So we have LCB natin, we have 40.5. I is 10. Okay. Position natin, 33. Then yung before niya, we have 30. Okay. Angat tayo dito. Then yung corresponding cumulative frequency. Then yung F natin dyan, we have 8. Okay. We have 44.25. Then pwede na natin makuha yung SIQR. That is equal to 44.25 minus 23.5 over 2. We have 10.38. Okay? Next, class size I is equal to 10. Okay na yan. Provided na yan. Then, yung coefficient ng interquartile range natin, that is equal to Q3 minus Q1 over Q3 plus Q1. Nakuha na natin yung Q3 sa Q1, di ba? Copy lang. Then, we have 0.3063. Okay? Next, problem 8. So, meron tayong tabulation dito. Determine the correlation coefficient. Okay, solution natin dito. So, medyo matagal yung kung gagamitin natin yung formula na mahaba for the Pearson's R. Okay, so yung hinahanap natin dito is yung Pearson's R. Okay? So, ang gawin natin, ka-Caltech na lang tayo. Meron tayong Caltech dyan. Okay, so paano yung Caltech dyan? So, ang gawin nyo, mode 3 to, mode 3, then 2. Okay, so itong 2, linear yan. Okay, linear yan. Then, make sure na naka-frequency off tayo. Okay? So, para ma-frequency off, shift mode pala. Shift mode, press down button, then press start. Okay? Then frequency off. Okay? Tapos, next, gagawin natin, okay, may lalabas dyan na table, dapat X and Y lang. Input nyo na yung mga values. Okay? Sa X and Y. Then after, press CA, then apps. Okay? Then reg, number 8. Then may pilian dyan. So we have A, B, R, X hat, then Y hat. Okay, piliin niyo ito. Number 3. Okay? Then lalabas dyan, R is equal to 0.8109. So, sundan nyo lang yung step-by-step process natin. Okay? So, next. Problem 9. So, meron tayo ditong set of numbers, 2, 4, 4, 5, 7, 8. Inahanap yung relative variability. So, solution natin, okay? Kunin natin yung mean, that is equal to, so 2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 5 plus 7 plus 8 divided by the total number of data set 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we have 6 x bar natin or the average is equal to 5. Then compute natin kunin natin yung deviation niya and yung square nito. Okay, so we have 2, 4, 4, 5, 7, 8. Okay, so we have 2 minus 5, negative 3. Then yung square natin yan. Tapos dapat naka-absolute so we have, di ba, x. Hanggang tayo dito, x bar. So we have 2 minus 5, we have negative 3. 4 minus 5, negative 1. Okay? Negative 1, 0. Ano pa? 7 minus 5, 2. Then 8 minus 5, 3. Okay? Dapat naka-absolute yan kung isi-square natin. Okay? At yung makakuha nating square, ito na yun. Okay? Negative 3 squared. Okay? Naka-absolute value kasi. Okay? Di ba? So, yan lang naman. Then, kunin natin yung standard deviation. Okay po? So, we have ito, nakuha na natin yung summation niya, 9 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 9. So we have, that is equal to, ilan ba to? 9 plus 1 plus 1 plus 0 plus 4 plus 9. 24. Okay, so yung numerator natin, 24, over yung total number natin ng dataset, 6. Okay, that is equal to 2. Next, pwede na natin mahanap yung RV, that is equal to standard deviation divided by the mean. Okay, we have 2 over 5. So, yan yung answer natin, 2 over 5, okay? For problem 9. Next, problem 10. In a frequency distribution, the average distance from the mean y is related to the variable x using the equation y is equal to 2x squared minus 1. Part A, determine the mean value of the distribution for values of x from negative 1 to 4. Then part B, determine the root mean square deviation value for values of x from negative 1 to 4. So, sa part A, let b is equal to 4. Okay, ito yung upper value natin. Then, ito naman yung lower value natin. Negative 1. Okay? So, f of x, ito. Ito yung f of x natin, function natin. Then, copy lang. Okay? Copy ninyo lang to sa calculator. Then, solve for the mean. We have 7.7. How about for the RMS? So, ganitong format. Naka-square lang yung function natin, 2x squared minus 1. So, copy lang. Ganun lang. Ano? Then, 12.2. So, dapat kabisado niyo yung formula natin dito. Okay? So, magkakapareho lang to, mean sa RMS. Pinagkaiba lang sa RMS, naka-square root na siya. Tapos, yung function natin, ini-square natin. Okay? So, similar lang tong dalawa. Okay? So, that's it. Diyan nagtatapos yung lecture natin sa statistics. The next is probability naman. Okay?